right, so we are back again. This is our fifth webinar in the Agri-Food Connect webinar series, and today we are together with Mahin and Eldar. So we are diving into the Azerbaijan agri-food sector and the ecosystem today. As the tradition goes, I'll just start with the explaining what is Kök Projekt and what are we doing as an organization and what is the Agri-Food Connect, and then I will be passing the mic to Mahin and then to Eldar, and then we are going to talk about the agri-food ecosystem of Azerbaijan. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm looking forward to hearing your insights and your work in the agri-food sector in Azerbaijan, especially since the times that we are living. The agri-food sector is also quite affected and fast-pacing, changing. So I would love to, it would be great to hear your insights. So we are looking forward to that. So I'll start with what is Kök Projekt. So as the traditional sense go, the Kök Projekt is an accelerator. We work on agri-food sector. What we do is that we develop acceleration programs, corporate innovation programs, only focusing on agriculture, water, and food sector. We cover all of the parts of the food value chain, from the seed, even from the water to the plate. We work together with startups and we help them to reach their potential and beyond. We develop programs all across the world, and then we work together with our local partners to execute them. We believe food is a global conversation, and we are a high believer of the entrepreneurs that are taking the initiative and bringing change into the sector. And we work for them to expand and improve their products and solution and reach their potential and beyond. So what is Agri-Food Connect? In short, Agri-Food Connect is a platform, is a solution building activity. It's a virtual collaboration. It is, as we all experience, the food and agriculture sector is changing. We are reaching to a new normal now. We are talking about contactless production. We're talking about food deliveries, changing restaurants, changing habits. So therefore, Agri-Food Connect is the platform where we kicked off the conversation around on the agri-food sector, and talking about change, talking about solution, and talking about startups, how they can adapt and create more products and more services that is more aligned with the new normal. What it contains is that it's a series of webinars, which we are doing it today, where we share insights, where we share what's going on around the world regarding trends, challenges, and opportunities. And on the next step, we will be organizing an online sprint where we will be bringing together companies and startups where they can work together and develop solutions, and most importantly, helping startups to adapt those solutions into the company's value chain. We are looking into an impactful collaboration all across the board. And then the next step, we will be working with top performing startups on an agile mentorship program where we will be looking into their products, their teams, and their portfolio. And on the last step, we will be working with startups on a pre-acceleration program where we will be working and providing them a training on their growth strategies, product development, and business development. All around, this is a program that we are aiming to empower the startups and helping corporates to meet with them, work together with them, and get ready for the new normal on the agri-food sector. So if you would like to know about what we are doing and follow up our other webinars or other activities, you can just log into our website, which is kökprojekt.com. You can log into our newsletter, and also you can join in our digital community, which is the Kök community. It's a Slack group where it contains sector representatives, startups all across our network, and you can join in anytime you would like to. So that being said, let's move into the Agri-Food Connect, so today's topic. So as I mentioned, we have Mahin and Eldar with us today. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. So we will be diving into the agri-food sector of Azerbaijan, and we are going to hear your insights, your work, and your your, how can I say this, your expectations with the future. So I want to pass the mic to Mahim. I will be opening up the presentation, and please go ahead, tell us what you guys are working on and what is most importantly the Social Innovation Lab.
Good. Thank you, Sami, for your invitation. And I would like to briefly give information about myself, that's what I am doing in Social Innovation Lab. Then give information about the tasks that we do in Social Innovation Lab. I do work almost a year for Social Innovation Lab, and as an executive director, we do the startup education, and we accelerate startups from the point that they are in the beginning until the point they are running their own business, they are starting to find the investment and these kind of activities. We are with the teams, we are with the idea owners from the beginning of their the beginning of their startup period until the end, the latest destination. And I do help them to especially in the field of acceleration and further communication with industry. And in the Social Innovation Lab, we are trying to have some. Is it possible to go to the slide? Because of more visual, we are going to have a unicorn startup until the end of 2025. That we wanna improve the numbers of startups. We hope to go abroad, and until today we have more than 20 startups that we helped them, and they represented Azerbaijan abroad, and they attract some investment for their own projects, which is good, which is proud for us, for Social Innovation Lab, and which is a great success for the teams themselves. We wanna educate them and help them to go further. I mean, we wanna help them to pass the stage in the pathway of the startup. And the next slide, please. And here is the partners that they are some private, public, and international organizations here. And as it is seen, we worked with Climate Kick almost 4 years. This year is the fourth year that we work there, and we work with them on the project of Climate Launchpad. And from 2019 we worked with Climaton as well. And you know, Azerbaijan is the country with non-oil sector, and we wanna improve ourselves on this field, and therefore we attract some startups on alternative energy, green economics, and not only the perspective of SEAL it is, but also its perspective of the government also, and private and public companies also. They are willing to support these kind of projects more. And there is here UNDP, it's world renowned organization. And then we have Creative Business Cup. It is also international projects on program on art that we do accelerate art related programs. And then there are some ministries that they are supported, they are financed the projects, and we are doing some local startup programs for them. And at the end we try to add some value to startup community and prepare startuppers for the next stage and representing Azerbaijan in the world. And it is seen the 3 biggest programs of ourselves, that Climate Launchpad that we do almost 4 years in Azerbaijan, and Creative Business Cup. This year is the 2nd year that we will do, and Future Agro Challenge. We newly, get contracted with them, and from this year we are willing to implement this program, and just accelerating startups, especially in agro field, agrotech, and food security, and this kind of stuff that we are these three are our main I mean the focusing points for going internationally. And the next ones that please, they are venture battle and new space. They are local startup programs that we locally prepare startuppers, and we announce some programs. They apply with their ideas, then we generate their ideas and work on them, and at the end they are ready for full pitch, and they are ready for investors. And the next, please. And it is our statistics we almost have more than 1,550 I mean deal flow, and then we almost trained more than 1,000, and our alumni just comes from these trainings, and they are representing Azerbaijan. They're representing their their startups both nationally and internationally, and all of them that they raised more than 300,000 sorry manats for their dollars for their startups. And now we are in the stage that's not only training them but also helping them cooperate with others, and to help them to communicate internationally, to have fun, because you know it's they are in the stage that they know what to do. They have pitching and they have some ready plan, but they need some money to invest, and we are going to help them to find these investments and these kind of activities. And as it is seen, Social Innovation Lab prepared startups for representing Azerbaijan in various parts of Azerbaijan, various parts of the world, and we have one startups in Silicon Valley. And then they are our alumni. We have Forbes, and this picture is a kind of explanation that we don't only focus on the young generation, but also we have university professor here, we have students, we have employee. I mean, who has idea and it can easily approach us, and we can easily help them to accelerate their ideas.
Excellent.
And the next one is our team that we work as a team, and they are main person of the team. And we other than that, we have 10% person in the team, and we are going to run our programs within an efficient and effective ways for Azerbaijan, and for adding value to Azerbaijan startup community. That's it. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
it is our context.
Excellent. So you mentioned, I think that was one of the mottos of Social Innovation Lab, that you guys work with ideas and then turn them into business models. So that means if you're a startup and have an idea, and if you want to accomplish that in Azerbaijan, you can always apply to Social Innovation Lab, and actually you can start building your idea.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for your explanation, Mahim. So I wanted to pass the mic to Eldar. I will open up your presentation again, and we would love to hear more about what is Heal With. But before we go in, it would be great if you can also talk about your experience and your with your experience with the agri-food sector, and then we'll move into the Heal With.
Okay. So my name is Jahangir Bayafaldar, and I'm one of the developers of the Heal project. And Heal project is one of the projects which had long experience in the startups competition. let's speak about how Kiwis was born first, and then we will go to the itself. Like our team is consists of the people who are um, was interested in plants. One of them is my teacher, Elvis Melim, and he was a creator. He came and said, like, we can do and we can heal the plants with the AI technology. Some of us was interested in it because we had also plants, we love plants, and we started our idea. Like it was something from like one word which came to the real project. After that, Huiz was built as a program. We made like an algorithm which will work by itself. We didn't take like the libraries from anywhere. We just created it by ourselves. Um, and we came to the competitions. After some of the competitions, like maybe after 7 of them, in each one we were in the final. We get the winning place, like the first place in the I2B championship, and get the investment $10,000 money. Like it was a great step for the Huiz. Pandemia a little moved our plans because of we couldn't work in the like in one place. Now we're working like everyone works from his house. But after the pandemic, Huiz will come into the market. So let's speak about what Huiz and how we do it. Can we go to the next slide, please?
Absolutely.
Like the problem of the world was found is that 20% of the plants are ill. So it means that every one of the 5 plants gets some problem with its health. And the Huiz is a program which created for the people who love plant and who want to save their life with us. Let's go to the next slide, please. Yeah, and we created the Huiz. So please, one more, if you can. Next slide. Yeah. So how Huiz works? Right, you're opening, no, you're downloading the Huiz from the Play Market, choosing the plant in the menu. Then you just taking a photo, and you are getting the way how to treat it, and that's all. Also, we will have special like notifications for people who forget about like what I have to do and when I have to do it. Everything was thought about us because like we're not the people who never used to work with the plants, and we understand that someone in work time, like in the rushing time, forgot about when you have to treat your like green friend, and that's why we thought about these notifications. Let's go next, please. Yeah, like competitors of the Huiz project, like the global competitor of the Huiz is Plantic, which are working with vegetables and fruits. Huiz was created to all of the types of the plants. Like we thought also about flowers and trees. Of course, vegetables and fruits are also in our interests. And we started to work with some retail farmers, and we try to find as much pictures as we can, and like to make of the each problems and each problems of the plants. The most problem of the Huiz is the data, because not many people make a photo of the plant which is ill. Like it's used to call to the agronome and to call him to his house, to his farm, and try to treat the flower. And even if we can find some disease, the count of the photos is really little. Like now, Huiz try to solve this problem. Like we want people to make photos, to share, to give us an opportunity to treat their plants. And if you can go next, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is business side. Like today, this 21 billion is giving to the um, just a second, please. Smart agriculture sector, and it's really interesting moment. And 2.5 billion service for available market, like which we are using, and 125 million are the countries which we can use, like which we can obtain and which we are, want to obtain. Let's go next, please. And our business plan, how will we work? Like, of course, we need data. For this, we make number of scans for each month, which will be absolutely free. So if the person will think that his plant having some problem, he will just screen it. And after some seconds, like we will gain the photos, they will gain the treatment method. If you're having more than one plant which is ill, you can buy number of scans or monthly subscription. The idea of us, like anyone who needs help will gain it. Like the one code to the agronome and like his help to the person will cost like approximately $30. But number of scans will need the person who needs like for 5 plants, for example. It will cost only $1, and the person will buy it only in the moment which they need. The monthly subscription is given for the farms who want to every time checking his plants and his food and want to be sure that the level of his food will be increasing. Like we will also help with the medicines to find, because sometimes you know what is the problem but you don't know how to treat it. We're saying that you need this kind of medicine and even you can buy it in this kind of a kit. And of course, for real big companies, we will use like some amount of USD per hectares. Like it's for real big farms, for the ones who are working with great amount of plants. Let's go next, please. And a little about our team. Like we started by 5 person and now we are a team of 8 person who are working. And our founder was Elisa Smilov. Most of us are just students, but in fact, there are good developers, good designers, and everyone is working hard really. So we want to say thank you for giving us opportunity to be here and to speak about our team and to speak about our project.
Absolutely.
I want to say like the Hill With is a project which will help. No, like if we can, we go to the last slide. Yeah,
This
which
one?
will be the last one. Yeah, like we want to try. Yeah, this one. We want to try to make the life of the plants, which are the part of our life, better, and to make people like work with their like absolute atmosphere, which is comfort for everyone to work with it and to treat the plant. So we just wish that we will be really important in the future for the nearest future for the agronomic side of Azerbaijan and then for all of the world. Thank you very much.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for that. I have actually, I'll start with you, Eldar. I have several questions regarding Healwood. So you guys focus on the houseplants mainly, right? Or are we talking about, right? And how like, can you explain it to me, like, you know, your customer base and your, for example, the reaction of the people with the Healwood. So how is the relationship with your customers?
Yeah, we started and we came to the people and we asking them like, would you like to treat your plants? And most of housekeeper, like plant housekeepers, said yes, of course we need it.
Right.
It was absolutely. I met at least 5 person on the presentation. When I made the presentation, at least 5 person came to me and asked when we can see kiwis in the market.
Nice.
And the problem is that we want to help people, but the data is really little.
Right.
Little. It's so little that we want to start, but let's wait a little. Like we said to our customers, we will try. We started now with getting the data of the tomatoes, cucumbers, and like let's say farms. We collected it and we tried. It works in like 85% of the scans giving the right answer. So the opportunity of making it, like we have the opportunity and we want to make it. And the farmers, some of the farmers are glad to see us in the market, which are having not big farms.
Right.
Like big farms said us that it will be perfect to have some machine which will make it not the person, like it will be great, it will be machine. We also thinking about the next level of the hill width, which will work like by some robot, which is looking and which checking the width. And it will work like USD by HA, like we write it, like with guitars. Like that is the moment which is most problematic. We will gain the data there.
Right.
Now we are just waiting for ending of the pandemic to start because like summer's coming.
Right.
And now hard working of the gaining the data starts also. And we are thinking not only of the farmers and not only housekeepers. We just want to make the excellent program for everyone.
Right. Right. Excellent. I mean, I'm also thinking like, I mean, it could be really interesting to see Heal with indoor production facilities. So, you know, extending that to the farmers and being able to using their phone or, you know, integrating your technology, your data, because as you mentioned, one of the most crucial things about this is data. I remember one of the startups, I think it was based in here in Turkey. They worked just to collect data for 3 years on the diseases of olives and grapes. Just 3 years just for that. So it's actually, I mean, data is always most crucial one for, you know, defining what is the problem and how we can move forward to it. There's actually a question from the audience. So Omar asks, Dear Eldar, how about the accuracy rates of machine estimations in diseases?
Like
so how
85%.
How much?
85.
85%. 85%.
Like
Awesome.
we found it's one plant, and we made about 300 or 400 photos.
Right.
Then we find another one with the same disease, and again made this count of the photos and tried. Like in 85 of the cases, it was correct.
Amazing. Awesome. I wanted to move the question to you, Mahin, actually. Since we have Eldar here today, you know, as an example of a agri-food startup that is based in Azerbaijan, how do you see the ecosystem of Azerbaijan regarding the agri-food sector? And actually, I want to extend that question into that. How do you see the Azerbaijani startup ecosystem within the region as well? How do you position it? How do you explain it to someone that is, you know, only, you know, the first time heard about the Azerbaijani startup ecosystem? How would you position it?
Okay. I would like to mention that agro field, that it is in the main focus of the government, because you know, Azerbaijan is oil rich country, and it is resource rich, and nowadays that we are trying to improve our business, we want to turn the direction of the economy to non-oil sectors, and agro field is one of them, and then alternative energy and etc. And this kind of things is also other part of that we do. And we have strategic development goals of the government, and according to these goals we should do rise the numbers of startups, numbers of business on agriculture, and we should form some value on this field. And it is, I mean, it's not only the desire of private companies or individuals themselves, but also it's a main attention of the government that we do help. And it is in the stage of the startups, government try to helps the idea owners in the field from the perspectives of taxes and in the I mean until they are coming to the stage of the business, I mean. And then there can be different forms of sponsorship, and we have also some idea competitions that government tries to directly and indirectly helps young generation, especially young generation, to pursue their business, to run their startups. But as a person that I'm in the process, that I see the point that the people who want to invest startups, they are especially paying attention to agro startups and startups that are related to the climate. And our main focus are these two.
Awesome.
And when we look the perspective from the regions, that I can easily say that the statistics shows the numbers of startups increasing in Azerbaijan, because we try to be the part of information society, and as you know, it requires to be innovative, and as all other countries, we also trying to obey the rules of innovation and preparing ourselves based on the requirements of innovation, and it is positive trends in Azerbaijan also.
Excellent. There are two questions that I wanted to ask you about the Azerbaijani ecosystem. One of them is that question came up in each webinars that we do so far. How friendly is the Azerbaijani startup ecosystem if you're an expat? So let's say an entrepreneur would like to, move into Azerbaijan, set up a startup, applying to you, to the Social Innovation Lab, and work on an idea. How friendly is the system for a foreigner to be able to build a startup in Azerbaijan?
I would like to give one example, the real example, that in the case of SIL, that this year we did one startup competition, and we had some applicants from Turkey, and we didn't, I mean, there was not any limitation and restriction. And ministry itself also, they allowed us to prepare themselves. I mean, the main thing here to the person who lives in Azerbaijan, who are in Azerbaijan, but and they have ideas, they are trying to do something, we normally try to help them. And we have privileges for locals, and we do not have, I mean, some some restrictions for foreigners. And we are in the both sides. We are trying to help of both locals and internationals. The main aim is to accelerate their ideas, to prepare startups for firstly for Azerbaijan, and then for we have approach of global citizenship. We don't
Of course. Mahin?
and we normally, if someone applied and they are not Azerbaijani, but again we try to help them.
Excellent. Excellent to hear that. This is a question that I keep asking, so it's always great to have the insight of this, because as you mentioned, we are living in the age of global citizenship, and the agri-food sector, the solutions that we're talking about can be applied anywhere. Like for example, HealWith can work anywhere in the world, because the diseases in the house plants and also the cellular plants is global. So it doesn't need to stay in just one country, in one market. We can also talk about an expansion all across the world. That being said, I want to move back to you, Eldar. One of the cases that we see with the pandemic is that there's a surge in the idea of do it yourself with the food now. Since we don't want to leave the house as much, we're ordering a lot, but in the meantime, I think like everyone around the world, baking more bread and making more, cooking more food, and not ordering almost anything prepared, but rather ordering the ingredients to come home. And then there's an interest with the vertical farming solutions being applied at home, and there are some startups actually applying these solutions. So do you see HealWith will, move onto the field on the production side as well, or HealWith will maybe collaborate with one of the vertical farming startups and, being able to integrate home more with this? How do you see the future of HealWith?
The future of the HealWith is like a little secret for us. We want to be global. We want to be like interesting for everyone, and we are waiting here. Like God bless, if God bless us, and 10 years after, HealWith will be everywhere.
Right.
And the main position of us is healthy food, because vegetables are the healthy food, fruits are the healthy food, and plants are whole. Because how we will grow up. There are many flowers shops, it's one of our aim.
Right.
And the second one, there are farms, and not the self-only farms, big farms. That's our idea. We want to be global, not only in Azerbaijan,
right,
but we want to start in Azerbaijan.
Awesome.
And Azerbaijan has the most famous vegetables in the world, like potato, tomato, cucumbers,
right,
onion. If we will gain Azerbaijan market, and if we will see that our program works absolutely good, the global market will be also the global, world will get the HealWith, with the hugs.
Excellent.
I think.
Excellent.
So, firstly, we want to start with the most popular fruits and vegetables, with most popular flowers. Then we will go to the next level, to everything. So we also think that if we will gain the potatoes, onions, tomatoes, and cucumbers, we will get the investment. And the investment means that you can go next. This is the step which we are waiting for. The pandemic a little killed us because we couldn't say the people, please photo your plans for us. What for?
Right.
Azerbaijan a little, it doesn't work. So we wanted to come by ourselves and to make the photos by ourselves with future help. Now for the moment, it's unreal.
I think that's the case, right? I mean, it's always difficult to source that data, not just because of it's hard to collect it, but it's because of the time. As you mentioned, I mean, you cannot go house by house and taking the pictures of the plants and then just put it on the database and then saying, oh yeah, that was that, by the way. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, absolutely, that's one of the issues. But that's also the case, right? Because if you build that database, in one point, you can actually use and adapt it anywhere, and that would be one of the biggest value propositions, because you already have that. Blood, sweat, and tears turns into a data afterwards. So I mean, that's just interesting. And also, I mean, with the idea of being able to produce our own food at home, or even small gardens, or even integrating the solutions into big farms is also quite exciting. Do you also see any is it because I wanted to, I don't think I've seen it in the presentation, but because we're talking about data, we're talking about determining the diseases, is it possible to also integrate the HealWith to drones or other technical tools that we can do, like flying drones over the field and determining the diseases as such?
Oh, great question. And we had this idea because we thought about if we will work with a big farm or some big gardens, we will need it. We will need drone, and which will be flying and scanning the special trees. And if it sees some disease, it will be coming near or making a photo. Also giving the GPS position to the center, and the tree will be get the treatment.
Excellent.
So this was as a future plan, and we think that it's a week. So like, how I can say, now we couldn't speak about it like loudly.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
It's not because
but
it's possible. Right. I understand.
yeah, it's possible, and we want to make it, and we are waiting for it.
Excellent. Excellent. There's a question to me actually from Social Innovation Lab. So I would like to ask Semi if he sees application of Healwith in Turkish market, as Turkey is one of the leading countries in agriculture and food. Absolutely, I actually do. That's why I keep pushing the part of houseplants, because I see. I mean, it's sort of like my way of saying it, that, but maybe. But I see a lot of people are actually starting thinking they're raising their own tomatoes, some greens, some fresh herbs, and all of this stuff that you see first time you enter to the supermarket, right? On your right or left section, you see a huge line of fresh herbs and some of the stuff that actually can be produced at home. Small scale, but it's possible. And it's also quite hard to do that. I mean, I tried several times raising a tomato or similar products at home. It just gets problematic, because you need to give some care, and if there's a disease, if you don't know what you're doing, you're definitely going to kill the plant. So having a solution such as Healwith, I think it would have a major opportunity in Turkish market as well, in Azerbaijan for sure. I mean, it's already there, in Georgia, in the region as well, because since we are going, spending more time at home, basically, we're spending so much time at home that we're not actually used to, that we're going to look into the solutions that we do at home. What that means is that we're going to maybe buy a better oven, maybe a better ingredient, maybe better plates and this and that. And then in this one point, we're going to start thinking about how I can produce my own food. This is with the fears of hygiene and interest in production as well. Small sections of herb growing fridges or similar appliances could be really interesting, but if you know what you're doing. And Healwith coming into the picture and showing that if there's a problem in that plant and you need to do this to solve it, I think it's quite excellent. So yeah, I mean, for that question, I definitely say yes. So I'll move into the next question regarding the trends, since we are getting close. So we're seeing, as I mentioned, we talked about a lot of trends on house production, which Healwith taps on that. But there's also other trends, and I would love to hear your insight on that, Mahin, as well. For example, food delivery, meal kits, or contactless anything. Contactless agriculture, contactless food products, and all of that. So do you see any changes with the pandemic regarding the startups or the companies? Is there any examples that you would like to give with the changing agri-food sector in the Azerbaijan?
And I see I see this change as a positive. When in the period of pandemic, people stay at home and they are trying to consuming foods, and some online applications in this stage, it's really helpful for people who are willing to consume foods. And in this pandemic process, from this perspective, it positively impact to startups, but there is some challenges here. I mean, because of the if something requires face-to-face meetings, face-to-face selling and buying process, and for them it's a bit damaged, I think, but not more. But generally, in the field of food and agriculture, and it works well compared to other fields.
Right.
And we always want to we always apply agriculture fields because of human needs, and in this pandemic period, agricultural startups especially helped us.
Excellent to hear that. So if you're a startup in the agri-food field, Azerbaijan is a great place that you can tap into that. I mean, that's excellent. I mean, talking about, you know, agriculture, talking about food, when we,
So, Samia, I would like to.
please.
Yeah, please.
No, no,
I
no,
would,
go ahead.
I would like to mention that that we call some all of the startups here and our blog and social innovation lab and local people. I mean, who live in Azerbaijan can easily approach the links and easily keep in touch with these startups and also all of the services that I just wanted to mention here, not only negative sides of the pandemic, but it directly positively affect the startups that they have apps, they have websites that is well regulated, and in this period they are winners because they can show their own power to the market and easily they can find customers, and customers can find them easily, and it also started a new era, even I can say, because after the pandemic we got some new application to the seal that some startups that they do not fully ready to spread in the market, and they applied us to help us to assist us to finish our website, to accelerate our products, I mean the app, and we wanna spread it in the market because it's time time to show our product, show our company, and that is important.
Absolutely. Excellent. Excellent. Absolutely. I mean, I keep saying that as well. I mean, for, I mean, it's a terrible period for a lot of businesses, and a lot of, you know, companies have to adapt. But in the meantime, when you take a look at the agri-food sector, I always keep, you know, giving the same example. When you're talking about, you know, startups in the agri-food sector, you know, defining diseases at home or in the farm, such as like HealWit or agriculture technologies, sensor tech, alternative protein. These were the topics for the next 10 years, right? You know, when you talk about agriculture and food, it was the, you know, the work of the future. But now that future is like shrinked, and it's actually here now. So we are talking about, you know, all of these stuff that is contactless and this, and, you know, patents, drones, you know, precision agriculture, smart agriculture. All of these stuff was the thing for the future, but that future is here today. So it's also quite exciting to see that. So yeah, I mean, it's quite exciting, and then, you know, being witnessing the future is here, and we're all adapting to it. And I see, you know, huge potential for the startups, you know, being able to the winners of this period, which is whole, you know, spirit of setting up a startup and being an entrepreneur. Excellent. So before we wrap up, do you guys have any like sign-offs that you would like to say? I think you, Mahin, you mentioned that, you know, people can get in touch with the Social Innovation Lab if, you know, ideas turning into businesses. And you mentioned your website as well. Healwit,
Yes.
you know, Eldar, if you have any, you know, Mahin, if you have any last words, please go ahead.
And in fact, I want to say thank you. Like, it was interesting for me to listen it and to be here today.
Awesome.
Even, you know, in the pandemic, I feel myself near to you, and it's a great experience. And I would like to be the one of the projects which you are talking about, and we will talk about. And I wish.
Excellent.
Thank you.
No, thank you so much for joining us. And Mahin, do you have any last words that you would like to mention?
I also wanna, yeah, I also want to thank you for the organizers, for the people who have this interest, and also I would like to add that we will continue in the field of agrotech and agro related startups, and follow seal.vc, and we will announce some programs again, the next webinars, and you know, and some chance that can come to our lives, and they can directly change our the further steps, and therefore starting and accelerating their ideas. I really encourage new startups and to continue to pursue their ideas, even though it is not it's not in the further stage, but it's never late to start. And in this stage, we as a social innovation lab, as a ready organization, to help them to accelerate them from the zero.
Excellent, Sanal. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us today. It was excellent to hear your insights, your thought, and your work as well. So this webinar will be on our YouTube channel on Kök Projekt as well. So feel free to log in and check that out as well. And thank you so much for joining us today. So we'll see you in the next webinar. So thank you so much and have a nice evening.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.